Are you looking for the best hi-res audio? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best hi-res audio on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1, Hiby R4, Bluetooth 5.0 seems like a weird oversight and an area that can be improved in the future. However, people will use such a device with wired headphones, so it's less of an issue than on a phone or tablet. Hiby in the past year has managed to exceed all my expectations. As an owner of the R6 Mark II, I was impressed, and having just reviewed their new models, I can categorically say they are now the class leaders for DAPs around and under $500. The Hiby R4 is just so unmatched at its price. With an RRP of $249, I expected some shortcuts, but try as I might, it's a device that will suit the vast majority of audiophiles looking for a high-powered digital music player to power high-end headphones and earbuds. Powered by a Snapdragon 665 with an Android 12 operating system, it feels responsive and lag-free, yet despite that I didn't feel the battery life took much of a hit. I got 10.5 hours in my testing with the 3.5mm output and 8.5 hours with the balanced 4.4mm connector in action. Please note though that results will vary on the amp used. There are dual ESS Sabre DACs working away inside, and it's able to decode DSD256 native and MQA16X unfolded. It's powerful, and so is the amp section, which offers both Class A and Class AB, so it can drive headphones or earbuds to full capability. I think the thing I like most about this is it doesn't feel like an entry or mid-level DAP in the slightest. The build with its big screen, clicky buttons and metal body all feels extremely premium, and it doesn't look out of place next to my more expensive DAPs. Number 2, Fiio M17. Although I use the iBasso DX320 daily as my MP3 player of choice, if I were to switch to another, it would be the Fiio M17. For me, the sound quality is so good on both. Everything else comes down to personal preference. I have always been an iBasso user, so I stick with them. In a practical sense, both are elite and, in my opinion, the 2 best DAPs you can buy in 2025. What impresses me most about the M17 is how Fiio managed to cram so much desktop componentry into such a small package. The ES9038 Pro DAC is found on full-size desktops and Hi-Fi components, but the house, in collab with DHX, amp also packs a punch. Codec support is all there, including MQA8 and DSD512, which we like to see, as many audiophiles will integrate this player into their full hi-fi system. Now, the issue here is this a DAP? Well, yes, of course, but if I had one, I would see myself using it more as a transportable solution, taking advantage of its power system. While the componentry is good, it's not as portable as the DX320. The battery life is bad, especially when used in balanced setups. I found 6 hours was more realistic in my testing, so you must ensure you have the patience to charge it, as it takes over 4 hours from dead to full. The Fiio M17 is an exercise in lunacy, a way to see how far we can push the hobby, and Fiio has certainly pushed this one. As for every bit, it's crazy, but it's equally brilliant. Number 3, SHANLING M6 Ultra. SHANLING has been working away on refining the M6 line for years now. It's the company's mid-range MP3 player, and it just keeps getting better and better. The original was so good it was my go-to DAP, and just recently, I replaced my iBasso DX240 with the Ultra and have been loving the performance in the small and familiar package. Quad DACs and dual amps drive this bad boy's sound portion, while the hardware is driven by the outstanding Snapdragon 665, which is even a step up from the more expensive HD music players on this list. That means it's one of the most stable and smooth user experiences I have had on one of these devices. Sound quality is second to none when paired up with capable headphones. It produces a vibrant, detailed, and true to source material sound. codec support will help, as this has 16x MQA and DSD 512 baked in. Battery life is also really good if using a 3.5mm jack. I got 13 hours of playback and 10 when using balanced, which, when you consider the size and power ratio, is very good. Number 4. Hidizs AP80 PROX. Now we get into the portable and affordable stuff, and what better way than to introduce the Hidizs AP80. This diminutive DAP packs lots of high resolution goodness for your music, such as extensive support for audiophile grade codecs like MQA8X, LDAC, and APX. It even has DSD support but is limited to 256, which is to be expected given the size. The internals are solid, too, and while they saved a little on the Ngenic chipset, it doesn't seem to impact the performance, even when scrubbing through large music libraries on the external micro SD slot. The really good thing is that the budget was allocated to give us dual saber DACs and lots of power from the amp section. From the 3.5mm jack, the sound is nothing to write home about. In fact, it was almost indistinguishable from my Sony Xperia headphone jack. But when I hooked my hard-to-drive impedance bidynamic headphones, I couldn't believe how much power it was putting out and thus driving them to their potential. The battery life again took a hit as I got 6 hours balanced from a single charge, but recharge times were fast. Number 5. SURFANS F20. The SURFANS F20 has gained a bit of a cult following. It's a high-resolution MP3 player focusing on those who keep their music library on an SD card rather than using lossless streaming apps. It's an old-school audiophile DAP that offers much value for money and is one of the top players on our best cheap DAP list. All major lossless file formats are included, and there is also Bluetooth output should you wish to use it. Sound quality and the low price more than make up for the lack of a touch screen and apps. It's a spacious sounding DAP with lots of power and a dark black background. Finally, the last thing I love about the SURFANS F20 is the tank-like build quality and tactile, clicky buttons and scroll wheel. It gave me that throwback to a simpler time when I wasn't tapping on screens and could use my DAP for what it was meant for, listening to music.